It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission really is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this episode, we have the one and only Lauren Young Durbin. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Yay! Who we talk about how to gain career clarity. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm super excited you're here. You know, the first questions people are saying, I know they're looking at the title. Some people are reading your bio already. They might be curious, what does career clarity even mean these days? I mean, I have no idea. So for the audience that are watching, a number of folks are dualpreneurs. They work a full-time job and they full-time entrepreneurs. So that'd be like career clarity,
Mhm.
Shay. What is that? What does that even mean? Talk to us if you can.
Well, clear career clarity. It's in the name. It's about getting clear about your career. It's like, what do you ultimately want to do? Do you ultimately want to be an entrepreneur? Do you ultimately just want to retire from where you're going? What are your next steps? What are your big steps? What are your big goals? So it's just really getting clear on what you want to do next and what you want to do ultimately.
So why do people struggle with that? I mean, it seems to me if you work in finance, you want to be on the finance career track. Seems to me if you work in education, you want to be on the education track. So take a moment if you can in a day where AI can tell us anything, any place, anywhere. Why are people struggling these days with career clarity?
Well, you're talking to someone who is a licensed attorney. So just because you're in a field doesn't mean you want to stay in a field. A lot of people, I have a lot of clients who just fell into the field they're in, or they study accounting in college, so they became an accountant. But then when their priorities change, their lives change, they realize this isn't really what I want to do. So they have to start thinking about. I apologize if you hear my toddler son in the next room
That's fine.
yelling. Okay, great. Um, so they start thinking and reevaluating their lives, their priorities, their values, and then they think about how does their career fit in with their renewed or reviewed life. And that's usually where people get stuck. They're like, okay, I've done accounting, I've done law, I've done any number of things for the last 15, 20, 25 years. It doesn't really suit me or my lifestyle right now, but I don't know what else to do. I've done this for so long. I don't know what else to do and not make a lot less money. That's also a big thing. So that's where people get stuck.
So let's talk to two type of individuals. Let's first talk to the person that's just getting started. Maybe they've been in their business or their career maybe 3 to 5 years. Maybe they're right out of
Mhm.
school and they're like, gosh, this is not what I thought it would be, or I can't imagine myself doing this for another 5 years, more or less another year. What's the first step, second step, and third step you would tell someone that's trying to reevaluate? And they're just kind of new. They're getting started, but they're listening to this right now. They got a hold of it. Like, whoa, this is perfect timing for me. What would you say to that person?
The first thing I would say is don't worry about it. Because I've worked with newer graduates that would fit in the 3 to 5 year category, and they're very were like, oh, well, if I look like I'm job hunting, the best time to job hunt, quote unquote, and to try different things are when you're a new graduate. Because everyone expects you to. No one, if you leave a job after 6 months or a year, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, what do you expect from a 22-year-old?" Yeah, no one's ever says that. So this is the time for you to really explore and figure out what it is that you want. What are your values? That's the first step. I would say the first step is to figure out what are your values. And it's perfectly okay to be like, my value right now is to optimize how much money I'm making. And that's an important value. That is a legitimate, valid value. If your value is I want to be of service to others, then find a job that allows you to do that. So I would say the first step after realizing that's okay and this is the time to do it, if there's no other time in your life, is to start looking internally and get clear on what's important to you and figure out how can you get a career that pays what you're comfortable with or what you want if finances are your number one priority, and go from there. Talk to people, network, just figure it out.
Mm, I like that. Talk to people, figure it out. Perfect. And to the other folks, the Shea Browns of the world. I mean, I haven't worked a job in 20 years, but to the folks that are a little more seasoned, let's call us that. The
Mhm.
kids, well, they've done their job. They're grown now, right? Or maybe they're on their way to college or out. Maybe they've been through some ups and some downs. Maybe they're in a marriage and they reached a point like, you know what? I want to do what I want to do. I guess the
Mhm.
question is, what would you suggest to them? Now, it's a loaded question, ladies and gentlemen. It's a loaded question, so she's gonna have to frame it for you. But there's one group of you who want to move from your profession and do something you've never ever done before. So she might have to talk to
Mhm.
y'all differently. And then there's another group that just don't know what they want to do. So can I ask a two-part question? Can we talk to first the people that like, look,
Okay.
I've been educated my whole year. I'm out of this jam. I want to do something fresh and new, but I got no experience. And then come back and talk to the other person that's just like, where do I even start? Well, what's one, two, or three for me to start?
Yes. So the first group of people, they know what they want to do. Is that what you're saying? But it's something totally different from what they're
Yes. So
currently
I'm in
doing.
finance
Okay.
now and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm out of finance. I want to go be a school teacher, but I have no experience being a school teacher. I'm a little older than the other folks. So now they got to give me a shot. Or maybe they were in insurance and they want to go off and do something in the tech field. You know what I mean? So they're just changing total fields after all these years in one area.
Well, the first thing I say, and this applies to both groups, is that you have transferable skills. I can't imagine anyone who doesn't have any transfer skills when they're seasoned like a fine cast iron pan. So that's how I think of myself. So you have transferable skills. So write down the skills that you have. Look at the skills. I'm assuming that if you know what you want to do, that you know what you need to do in order to be successful at that job. So you know the skills, the education. You may not have the experience, direct experience, but you know the basics about what you want to move into. So what I would suggest is the first thing you do is make a list of your transferable skills and your experiences that may not seem directly related, but you can always create a narrative and make something related. You might have to go around the block a couple times, but you'll get there and start connecting the dots. Like, okay, for instance, if you are, I think you said it was an accountant and you want to become a school teacher, first of all, yeah, we need more school teachers. So that's good. So there's a demand for that. But maybe you teach math. A lot of schools are teaching accountability. I know here where I live, the kids are required to take a personal finance class to graduate. And that'll be directly related to that. Maybe you don't necessarily want to be a teacher in secondary school, but maybe you can be an adjunct at a community college or a local college or a local school. So there's different ways of doing it. One of the biggest things that people run into is a lack of imagination. But if you want it, you can do it for the most part. Like I'm never going to be an Olympic anything. But other than that, I feel pretty confident in my abilities to do something.
I love it. You know, we got started, and as folks are listening right now, want to know what in the LL Cool J, who is this person, Shay? I hear her, and I didn't read her bio. I know some of you read the bio. I get it. And some of you are like, I'm listening to the podcast, man. I like what I'm hearing, but I don't know about her, Shay. What is her backstory? Who is this person? What experience does she bring to the table? I think that's a reasonable question at a reasonable time. So we'll slow down for a moment, and then we'll speed up. Take a moment, if you will, and the question: Who are you? What's the backstory? And more importantly, what led you to doing what you're doing now?
Okay, well, I'll start with the end, which not the end, but for now, I'm a career clarity coach, and yeah, I work mostly with mid-career women, and I help them figure out exactly what we're talking about today, how to figure out what they want their next steps to be, and how to get there, and what's their new ultimate goal and ultimate dream career. Sometimes it's just staying in the same company, but navigating within the company, doing a different thing. Sometimes it's just learning to love their job. Um, my professional background is I'm a licensed attorney still because I am not letting that accreditation go. Mm-mm. I'm not. So, and I did. I worked until very recently, till last year. I worked for in corporations, and I worked for Capital One until last year. And so my background is mostly legal. I've done admin work before I went to law school. So I have a variety of different jobs throughout my career in the legal field. So, but I get it when people talk about student loans and like I have to earn a certain amount because I still am paying off my student loan from forever ago. So I get it. The other thing I do is help people figure out how to take those next steps or change careers without having to take a huge loss in income. Because let's be for real, the bills don't stop coming because you stop going to work. So
Ah, that is perfect. And as you were saying that, by the way, what was the biggest challenge for you changing careers like that? Was it having the right mindset? Was it having the right belief system, or was it just taking the step to do it?
both. That's what I would say.
It's not an either and; it's an and both question, huh?
It's yes. That's the answer. That's the answer to that question. It was scary. I've been coaching for over a decade off and on, and I decided I'm like when I left my last job, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna focus more on my business, and then I focused even more on my business, and I found the more I focused on the business, the more successful I became. But part of that, a big part of that, is learning that shift in mindset and to have, like I always say, the best investment you can invest in is in yourself. And I had to make that investment in myself, and I had to switch my belief system. Like, I can do this. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Just like all these coaches. But I've always been the kind of person who have always been myself. And it's never a matter of, oh my goodness, how can I do this? I don't think I can do this. It's really like, okay, this is what I want. How am I going to get it? And I think it's that switch that's really hard for a lot of people because, especially if you're seasoned, you're used to thinking in a pretty narrow way and a way that you focus on what you need to do and you don't necessarily take the time of broadening horizons. And I would say that is generally the one of the first one or two things that I work with my clients is that you don't have to stay in this lane. People are saying stay in your lane. Well, you can choose what highway you want to be on. Like no one else can choose that for you. You can choose what highway you want, and then you can choose your lane. But you don't have to stay in the same lane. You can zigzag if you have to. Most people do nowadays because if you're working for someone else, you don't know how the business is really going. Or, they may let you go for no reason and sudden, or you may get an opportunity. They're like, oh, we're going to get rid of your job in 2 months. So it's really about investing in yourself and changing your mindset. Even if you're like, you know what, I'm happy with my 9 to 5. It's comfortable. It's what I want to do. You can always invest in yourself. Pick up a book from the
Ah.
library. Yeah. Listen to an audio thing. You can pick up a new hobby. It doesn't have to be career related, but you should never stop growing.
And as you were saying that, one last question around this, and then we'll get into a little more about you. But there might be someone that's like a Shay Brown in the world. I know I'm the only one's raising my hand that's saying, you know what? I gave the example earlier. I was in finance and I decided to get out of finance and I'm over in tech. But after being here about a year, I decided tech ain't for me. I thought it was going to be, but it's not. If I want to go into an entirely different field because it
Okay.
sounded cool until I got the job as a financial analyst. I was making that up. And dealing with all these people is not really what I want now.
Hmm.
Is it too late? Am I stuck? I know that
No.
might be a crazy question, but if you work with folks and if I haven't, what are some thought process of me now going into another field that I just this just isn't what I thought it was going to be. I've been here about maybe a year, 18 months, and it ain't for me. Can you still help those type of folks?
Sure. If you switch to a job that's a new field and you're like, this isn't for me, that's okay. Especially if you were able to suck it up for a year because people change jobs pretty frequently nowadays. It used to be 3 years was the average. I think it's a little less now, even. So, and it's a good story, like, especially if you're doing something that's related to what you used to be. It's a story of, I did this for a really long time. I wanted to seek out a different passion, got into that, realized that wasn't a good fit for me. And it made me reevaluate what I was doing before and to go back to it because I realized that not only am I good at it, but I actually enjoyed this aspect of it. Whatever the aspect is that for the job that you're interviewing for. So you just tailor that, it's about making that narrative of like making it look nice, polish it up.
I love it. By the way, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing right now? You seem to be happy. It seems to be something you really enjoy. What do you enjoy most about it?
Oh, I love talking to guys like you, gals like me. No, the thing I love most is watching people grow. And that sounds so weird, but it's true. Like that you get that aha moment and you see it in their eyes and their face. They're like, oh, I do have experience to do X, Y, and Z. Or, I never thought I could do that. Like I always thought I had to do this thing. And just to see that mentality growth and just to see confidence boom, because oftentimes, believe it or not, every single one of my clients, they're amazing women. And all of them are so accomplished and they don't appreciate how accomplished they are. So to see like that, yeah, I have done a lot. And her like, I can do this. Yeah, 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 I can do this. And I just need some steps and accountability. So yeah, that's my favorite part is definitely working with my clients and helping them grow.
Helping them grow. That's a really good segue, by the way, to a segment that we have here called Today is My January 1st. And as you were talking, people might be saying, wow, Shay, her world is perfect. Life is just great. She's just having a wonderful time. And we have a segment here for those that tune in every day at 4 or every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what we're about to do. And it's called Today is My January 1st. So y'all can go ahead and say that. I know y'all love saying those words. Today is my January
January
1st. I know
1st.
that feels
Oh,
good.
sorry,
For all the
January
rest of you
1st.
out there that are tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Today is my January 1st represents a fresh start. It's our personal mantra. It means you get a do-over. It means the past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is or how bright and sunny that past is, the past no longer equals the future. And so my question for Lauren on the other side is that when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And number two, what was the moment of yours? Or maybe there was a setback. Things didn't go the way they wanted to. And how did you bounce back from it?
Well, actually, today is my January 1st, first of one. I don't even know what number of how many, but because my life is not perfect, obviously, but I have been like, okay, what do I want to do with business? A lot of the things that I've been working on for years have come to fruition. And so I was like, what's next? I think we all get to that point. Like, what's next? What now? And so I finally got to the point where, and today was the first day that, so my day one, where I sat down and I do what I often advise a lot of my clients do. I just wrote down what I want to do. I didn't put a timeline or anything. I'm like, what's the end result of what I want? What? And so I just wrote it down. And so once I wrote it down, I plotted like, okay, who are my top three things I want to do this year? What's the one I want to do this quarter? But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have lots of moments of doubts and stress and worry, and I have to bring myself first, give myself the space and time to kind of feel those emotions, and then bring it back to the center of okay, what does this mean? And it might not mean anything. Almost always never means anything. Okay, is what can I do about it? And if I can't do anything about it, I have to let it go. And if I can, then I start working on the solution.
I like that. If you can't, what can I do about it? And oftentimes, you say,
Hmm.
oftentimes, there's nothing you can do about it. Like if you're worried, it's
Hmm.
not going to change anything. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Well, if you're only worrying and there's
Mm-hmm.
no action behind that worry, let's say, for instance, let's say you're like, I'm not making enough money at my job, and you
Mm-hmm.
just
Okay.
worry about it. And that's all you do. You just stress, you lose sleep, you just worry about it. That's not going to help. If you're worried and you're stressed and you're like, I'm going to take up another shift, I'm going to start a side hustle. I'm going to sell some things. That's different. That's something you can do about it. So think if there's something you can truly do about it. Because I think most of the time people don't get to that second step. They're like, what can I do about it? They're like, "Ugh, nothing." It's like, do you want to do something about it? Because if you don't want to do anything about it, okay, then don't worry about it. If you don't want to change it, what are you doing? Why are you wasting this energy? There's some people just like to worry.
Yeah. Now, I've been guilty of those situations where I'm worrying about something. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. It's not going to change. So that's really, really sound advice. One of my favorite questions to ask when I have time, and I do have time now, is of what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given. I like to frame it for the audience because you've read so many books. You've had countless mentors, I'm sure, by the way. Not sure how many videos you watch, probably more you can people remember. But if you had to reach out and say, man, this is one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given, and I want to share it with the audience, and here's why, what would you share?
I would say the one that sticks with me, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I I always mess it up when I try to do a verbatim, is that we're all juggling lots of balls. But your job is to figure out which balls are plastic and which ones are glass. Meaning, what are the things that are most important and what are things that you can just let go and just, let it fall because nothing's really going to break. The glass balls are feeding the kids. The plastic balls are making sure all the snacks are organic, kind of deal. So that's I have 2-year-old twin boys, and so and I have this, I mean, not this, but my business, and um, I take on other projects. I have a house. I have tons of balls in the air, and learning, like thinking, what is glass, what's plastic, has really helped me become a lot less stressed. Not sometimes not a lot because I think I have to do everything, but yeah, that's probably the best piece of advice, and everyone that can apply to everyone. So
Nah, that's super spot on. I love it, by the way. And what do you do for fun? We're not out saving the world, when you're not out helping people change careers, when you're not out dealing with your two twin boys and all the balls you have juggled in the air. What's the one ball that's for fun? So what do you do for fun these days?
I read. I I'm a
Read.
big reader. I
All right.
love reading, and
An attorney that loves to read. Okay, that makes sense. What type of books do you read?
well, yeah, at my law school, I was the only person reading books for fun, like, and not the law books, but like we had a little teeny section. It was literally just a bookcase, a tall bookcase of fun books. Of you know, there's some nonfiction, but there were a lot of fiction books. And I was the library is like, you're the only person who reads. I'm like, yeah, I like reading. I read mostly I read a lot of self-help books, or that's where it would be in like Barnes and Nobles, business books for the business. But for fun, I like to read a lot of nonfiction books and mysteries and thrillers. I right now I'm reading The Wager. I thought I had it here. That's why I was looking around. The
It's on
Wager.
your phone. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Is it? It's,
No, I like to get them in hard form, hardback form. Yeah, that is a
no
hardback,
way.
and
No
Kindle.
way.
And sometimes I get on the because I want to read. I need to be able to read at a moment's notice. So
Okay.
I read a lot. I
So,
read
so
a
if you
lot.
think about the self help books for those folks that are out there, I'm all mine are on my phone. She still likes the hard. I don't know if I even got a hard copy. Well, anyway, I'm an Audible person, nothing personal. But you left us hanging. You gave us something on a fiction side, but we were curious about on that personal development side. Shay, she's read so many books. I mean, what's one? Now she can't mention the Bible. We got it. She can't mention Think and Grow Rich. We got it. But if she had to mention something on her book of personal development that she just really cool, near and dear to her, that she wants to share with us, what would it be? Because a lot of those folks listen, they're voracious readers as
Mhm.
well. So you're about to endorse a book right now.
I know. I'm like, what do I? And I'm looking over at my one of my mini bookshelves. I would say I would say any book by Denise Duffield Thomas, and she's a money mindset coach.
Denise,
And
what's her name again?
Duffield, Duffield dash Thomas,
Okay.
Thomas. Um, and I'm trying to, because I think her book. Well, the book I'm thinking other two. One is it's called Get Rich Lucky Bee, but it's a full word. She's since changed her wording now. But and the other one's Chillpreneur, and that's particularly for entrepreneurs about how to have a less stressful entrepreneur journey. But I love her books because it's all about changing your mentality. And I was a non-believer at first, but every time I read that book, something great happens to my finances. So I'm a big fan of hers.
Oh, what's the book again? Something great happens to your finances. I'm about to get Denise Duckfield Thomas. Is that what you said her name was? Let me go get that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get that book. I want something great to happen to my finances too. You should.
Yes.
You should reread it again tonight.
I know. I know. I have a couple of her books. and so and I have it on audio. I have it on and if you don't want to get a book, she has
You got the audio too. All right. This must be serious.
I have all formats because I really do enjoy. And she's Australian, so if you get the audio, she has an Australian accent. She reads her own books, but yeah. So I would suggest anything with her. I would start with that because it really is about changing your money mindset and figuring out what's causing you to treat money or think of money the way that you do. So yeah, that would be my nonfiction self-help recommendation. And The Wager, by the way, is nonfiction.
It's nonfiction. Okay. I like that. So as we come down the home stretch, folks will probably ask this two-part question because we can go all day, but this has been great. Number one, what type of clients are you looking to work with these days, if any? I'm not sure if your company's taking on any clients. And number two, how can folks best connect with you? How can they stay in this conversation you and I are having over and beyond the time that we have now?
Okay. I would love to work with mid-career professional women who are looking for help to figure out their next steps in their career, trying to figure out if they know what they want to do, how to make those steps and clarify those steps. If they don't know what they want to do, figure out what it is they want to do. So that's really my client base. And we do have a couple spots left for one-on-one coaching, which is what I do. If you want to stay in touch, you can connect with me on LinkedIn at Lauren Young Durbin, Durbin. But yeah, Young is just Young. But or you can check out my website. It's Tyche Coaching, TyCoaching.com. And I always have like, oh, more letters. And you can find out more about me, what I do. You'll see the blog. I have a blog come out every week. So yeah, those are the best ways to stay in touch. Check out me on LinkedIn or check out the website.
Well, let me say one thing. Thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. Can't wait to have you back again.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, there is no show. So we appreciate you. And while it's cool when you hit the like button, that's kind of cool. We like even better when you hit the share button. So hit the share button. Pay this message forward to someone else so they can have a better career, have a better life, and have more impact in the world. Thank you so much. And I'll never get tired of telling you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that you, as you're watching right now, you're already amazing. You're already this special human being. You're a game changer. You're a world changer. You're someone that's making a difference in the world. And that today, indeed, is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best yet to come. With that being said, my name hasn't changed. Still Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thanks a lot. We're out of here. Peace.
Bye.
Talk to you later. So long, Lauren.